The San Jose Sharks host the Stars in the last game before Four Nations break. Here's what you need to know.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team, the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL. Want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen, probably part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day. And for this mini preview, as we've been doing, we're going to look at how the Sharks and the Stars match up, get to know the Stars, get to know the lineup, and then what to watch for in this game. So let's get started with this last game for both teams as they enter the Four Nations break. The Dallas Stars coming off a shootout loss, a 5-4 shootout loss to LA Kings on Friday night, having to travel to San Jose. So they definitely are second day of a back-to-back with travel. And the Sharks, of course, coming off I don't know how they did it, but penalty shot overtime loss on Thursday. So let's dig into this game. The Dallas Stars right now are 34-18-2 compared to the Sharks 15-34-7. The Stars goals for per game 3.19, best for 10th in the NHL. They allow 2.50 goals per game, third in the NHL. Power play for the Stars 19.3, 23rd in the NHL. PK 84.8, second in the NHL compared to the Sharks, who are at 2.59 goals for per game, 30th in the NHL. Goals allowed at 3.64, dead last. Their power play is 18.1, 25th in the NHL, and the PK is at 75.7%, 24th in the NHL. Roope Hintz leads the Stars in goals with 22, and then Duchene leads the team in assists with 32 and points with 52. For the Sharks, Toffoli hits the 20-goal mark last game, leading the team. Macklin first in assists with 29, and Macklin Celebrini leads the team in points with 39. Looking at how these two teams match up, this has all the makings of a potential bloodbath, as the Stars are one of the best teams in the NHL at creating 5-on-5 goals, creating expected goals for, shot attempts. They rank in the top 10 in all of those, if not top 5. Power play goals, 4th. 5-on-5 goals against. They're good defensively. Expected goals against 14th. A little interesting there. Corsi against. They don't allow a lot of shots. This is very much coffee and baby versus hydrogen bomb for the Sharks and Stars, as these Stars are a very good team that could make a very deep playoff run here. So looking at the Stars and kind of where they rank in among some of the NHL, 4th in point percentage, 2nd in the division in point percentage behind the Winnipeg Jets, 5th in, like I said, in goals. Power play percentage, might be something to keep it on there. They are also dealing with a ton of injuries as well. This is a well-oiled machine known as the Dallas Stars. For their lines, Robertson, Roope Hintz, and Dadonov as their first line. Marchment, Duchene, and Mikael Granlund, old friends there on the second line. Ben, Johnston, and Bork on the third line, and then back, Steele, and Stankoven on the fourth line. If Logan Stankoven's on your fourth line, man, they're pretty good. All right. Harley, Cece, first pairing defense, Bichelle, Lindell, second pairing, and then Smith, Dumba, third pairing defense. And then Ottinger played on Friday night, so I assume Casey DeSmith, the veteran, is going to be getting the start in the net on Saturday for the Dallas Stars. So this team, well-oiled machine. They're very good. Even with the injuries, this is still a very, very good team right now. So what to watch for in this game? I think for one thing is this is the last game before the Four Nations break, right? Sharks aren't projected to have anybody go to Four Nations. We'll see as we've been kind of getting more and more injuries here of guys who might make it to Four Nations. Like the two guys would probably be either Macklin Celebrini for Team Canada or William Eklund for Team Sweden. But most likely the Sharks aren't going to have anybody playing in Four Nations. So this feels very much like an empty the tank game, right? Everything you got in this game because you have the next couple weeks off. This should be kind of, I don't want to say like a low, but like the Sharks have been dealing with a lot of injuries, right? You might potentially get Clean Costin back. There was no morning skate this morning, so you might potentially get Clean Costin back in this game. But the Sharks have been dealing with a lot of injuries here. So empty the tank against a superior team that is on the second night of a back-to-back, who is also probably looking forward to going home and getting some much-needed rest before their playoff grind that's going to be starting up here really soon as they look to go deep into the playoffs or lose in the first round, fingers crossed. So that is, I think the first thing is, how do you match the energy for a team that is going to have to get up for a second game of a back-to-back where they've had to travel, right? I know LA to San Jose isn't the biggest travel, but still, went to a shootout, you have to travel. This usually with those type of games, like the team on the second night of a back-to-back, this is anecdotal, but like they tend to start out pretty hot because they can kind of get their legs underneath them a little bit quicker, but they tend to fade away as the game goes on. Can the Sharks match the energy and then keep it going? I think is a big thing for them. Another thing I'm looking at is that matchup in the middle six, especially that Duchene line. Duchene has been absolutely outstanding for the Dallas Stars since arriving for them. And assuming Podorowski is going to be the second line center, that is a massive thing at massive advantage for the Dallas Stars compared to the San Jose Sharks is that second line. So how do the Sharks try to mitigate that? Third line played really well last game. Gonna have a tougher competition in this, but that middle six, I think, is where Dallas's talent is. Their depth and talent is going to probably overwhelm the Sharks there. So I think to help combat that, one, you need to take advantage of your opportunities. So if you get some breakaways, et cetera, you need to score on those. And then as well, I think clean breakouts, right? And that's always been a problem for the Sharks is clean breakouts out of their own zone. Don't let those guys just continually cycle and just keep you pinned in your zone for a minute and a half, 2 minutes that we've seen can happen to the San Jose Sharks. So I think clean breakouts to help, especially those middle six guys who I think that's going to be a key advantage for the Stars. And then I think goaltending. We don't know the goaltender, I would go with Vitek Vanecek. I thought Vanecek played really well last game. I would go with Vanecek. And I know Casey DeSmith had a pretty solid season for the Dallas Stars this season, but Vanecek, I think, gives you your best opportunity to win. I thought he looked really sharp against the Vancouver Canucks. I know the Canucks offense is not the Dallas Stars offense right now, which can come at you with waves upon waves. But I do think that if Vanecek starts, I think he gives the Sharks a little bit more of a puncher's chance to try to win this game. So I still like the Stars in this game. I'm going to go 4-2 Stars victory with an empty net or goal, just because the Sharks love to give up empty net goals. But I think we see points from both Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini in this game. So 4-2 Stars victory, where they fight hard. The Sharks fight hard, and you feel pretty good about their effort. But again, just get overwhelmed by a superior team. So I'll have a full breakdown of this game right after the game, wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well.